the Cardano community in particular seems to have a stronger focus on the long term. They don't really care as much for like short-term hype and things that are just going to boost the token price. They really want to make sure we're building sustainable solutions for the long run.
Hi everyone, this is Steffi and welcome back to the FinancialFox. So, you might have an NFT, you might looking to buy one. Well, do you know that Cardano has a vibrant community of NFT enthusiasts and more NFT projects are developing on Cardano? If you don't know, watch this interview. I will be joined by Blakelock Brown, the founder of JPG Store, the largest NFT marketplace on Cardano. Now, before we get into the interview, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, click the subscribe button now and follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. If you have any feedback or you have any comment, please add them in the section below on YouTube or send me an email at steffy@financialfox.news and we will get back to you. Now, enjoy the interview. Hi Blake, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steph?
I'm fine. I'm very excited to have you on the show to talk everything NFTs on Cardano, but also what's next for NFT marketplaces.
Likewise, I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so let's start with a sweet introduction about you and also your project JPG Store, which is, if I understand correctly, is the largest NFT marketplace on Cardano.
Yes, that's correct. So my name's Blake and I'm the CEO of JPG Store, which is the largest NFT marketplace on Cardano. We currently have over 95% of the market share, and we've held that for roughly 6 to 8 months now. We first started just over a year ago. Actually, today is our 1-year anniversary, funny enough.
Wow, so the 8th of November, the time we are recording,
Yes.
is 1-year anniversary for JPG Store, and
Yes.
you have done so much in just 1 year. That is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, actually we launched at 10 p.m. last night, but give or take November 8th. And it's been a crazy year for us. Just in the first 3 months when we were building JPG Store, we started as an underdog in the Cardano NFT market. When we first launched, no one knew who we were. We didn't have a Twitter set up. But we were one of the first NFT marketplaces with smart contracts. And so when we launched on Cardano, overnight we had over 1,000 followers on Twitter, and people were really excited that we were bringing new innovations to the market. Another innovation that we brought to Cardano was creator royalties. So the old dominant NFT marketplace was CNFTIO, and they didn't offer royalties for creators. And this was something that we've had since the beginning, and we're committed to having creator royalties for the future. It's what enables this entire space to thrive.
Okay, before we start to talk about JPG Store, I want to start with you. Where your journey started in crypto?
Oh, sure. So I guess for some background context, so I used to work at Instagram in Silicon Valley.
Oh,
And I worked there for almost 2 years, and it was an amazing job, great benefits, great salary, good people. But I felt this overwhelming sense of that I wasn't really contributing anything to the world. I wasn't making the world a better place in my view. And I felt that given all my technical knowledge, surely there had to be something out there that I could build that was new and innovative and actually push the world forward a little bit. And so I quit my job and I started looking into environmental startups. I'm actually very passionate about climate change, protecting biospheres like the Amazon rainforest, coral reefs, these sorts of things. And I started a few climate startups. My first one was actually doing tours in Iceland. It was an ecotourism business. And weren't really making that much money, so we started looking for other market opportunities, and that's when I stumbled into crypto. I saw these huge valuations in the news. Companies were raising millions of dollars, and I was like, okay, something must be going on here. And of course, anyone who has studied crypto can probably relate to this. Once you start studying crypto, it's like a rabbit hole. You just fall down, and yeah, I was hooked as soon as I started really looking into it.
Okay, next question. What was your first NFT?
So my first NFT on Cardano was an ADA Ninjas. They were actually one of the first. We only had 10 collections on the website the day that we launched. And I love the ADA Ninjas because I thought the art was cool. I'm a big fan of anime. And they were also relatively cheap compared to the Claymation and the Yumi Universe and the other ones that we had at the time.
Okay, but why also, that's an important question. Why you choose the Cardano? Because when you started to study crypto, and I understand that you were focused on environments and sustainability. Is that the reason why you choose Cardano rather than build on another blockchain?
That was a big reason why. So at the time, Ethereum was still proof of work. So, and we didn't know when the merge was going to happen. So Cardano was incredibly more energy efficient. And so I was looking at other blockchains. My roommates at the time were actually building on Solana. So sort of the two blockchains I was considering was Cardano or Solana. And I just felt, I checked out both communities and the roadmaps. I just resonated more with the Cardano community, especially after watching Charles' videos. I think there's an incredibly inspiring vision behind the Cardano blockchain. Besides just building a scalable, efficient blockchain, Charles is really doing his best to try to bring this technology into the real world by meeting with heads of state in Africa, bringing student IDs onto the blockchain in Ethiopia, for example. And I just felt like that was such an inspiring vision and something I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, he's a man on a mission, and I think it's very rare to find people like that. They don't only talk their agenda, but they are trying to change the world. And yeah, I agree. So let's move to JPEG Store, and then you started JPEG Store. So what is JPEG Store? What do you do? And how did you manage to grow it so quickly?
Great questions. So JPEG Store is Cardano's largest NFT marketplace. As it sits right now, we have about 95% of the market, which is absolutely insane. We definitely didn't have that when we first started. As for how we grew so quickly, I think really our secret comes down to listening very closely to what our users are saying and shipping very, very quickly. So we were one of the first NFT marketplaces on Cardano to use smart contracts. We had them almost 2 months before CNFT.io did. On top of that, we also had creator royalties right from the beginning. So people initially were using our marketplace because we had smart contracts. You could buy and sell instantly. And that was great. But when CNFT.io, which was the dominant NFT marketplace at the time, when they launched smart contracts, they had the same technology. So really, like the two marketplaces were very similar. But users were really fed up with CNFT.io, I think because they didn't listen very closely to their users. They didn't offer good customer support when people had problems. The website would go down and there would be no communication about what was going on. And on top of that, they didn't offer royalties for creators. I think it's kind of funny because right now in the NFT ecosystem, other blockchains are actually moving away from creator royalties. So on Solana, we recently saw Magic Eden removed creator royalties. OpenSea has made statements that they're considering doing the same. Here on Cardano, we actually went in the opposite direction. The first NFT marketplace, CNFTIO, didn't have creator royalties, and we did. And one of the reasons we took over the market was because all of the artists on Cardano rallied for us and supported us because we were supporting them. Obviously, without the artists, there are no NFTs. There's no NFT ecosystem. And so we're here to support the artists, and that's what put us on top, was all of these communities just rallying behind JPEG Store and offering creator royalties. And ever since then, we've continued to listen very closely to our users. When someone says something on Twitter that they want a new feature and it gets a bunch of likes, we usually try to ship that feature in a few weeks if it's not too complicated. So
it's like a big focus on user experience, basically, and support as well.
100%.
So how do you manage to do that? How big is the team at JPEG Store?
So we're approaching 40 people at the moment, and we have all sorts of different roles. So engineers, designers, product managers, we have people on marketing. But I think another like secret ingredient about JPEG Store is that most of our employees actually came from the Cardano community itself. So as we were growing, we were looking for people in Cardano who were really passionate, trying to push the ecosystem forward. And we brought them onto our team, which, it helps in all areas. Not only are they super passionate about Cardano, and they've been here for a while, but we're giving them a full-time job working in this ecosystem. So it's almost like we're reinvesting back into the ecosystem that gave us all the success to begin with.
Okay, now I'm gonna have $1 billion question, and
Okay.
let's start saying then many more people are getting into crypto. Many more people are getting into NFT, especially because you see even major brands are getting involved. We are seeing Meta now, we see other big Web2 company, they start to understand the value that NFT as building block of the metaverse they are bringing from, growing the community, growing your customer base, engaging with your community more. And most of these NFT projects, they built on Ethereum and Polygon. But here is Cardano with a growing community, growing number of NFT projects. And the question is, why should I buy an NFT on Cardano? How different is an NFT on Cardano versus an NFT on Ethereum? So I think those are kind of like some elements that I would like you to help me to communicate to our viewers.
Sure. So I'm going to talk about what is similar between these blockchains and then what is different. So I think when you look at all the different blockchains, the underlying use case for NFTs and the NFTs that are being created are more or less the same. So on Cardano, we have PFP projects that people use as their digital avatars. We have video games. We have fascinating tokens trying to do stuff in the real world, building houses in Africa. We have Book Token, which does, they're trying to take books and put them onto the blockchain using NFTs. We have metaverses. We have everything that you would see on Ethereum, for example, if you were to go to OpenSea. So I think the types of artwork that we see, an artist can launch their artwork on any chain. The minting experience is relatively similar. The trading experience is relatively similar. So there's a lot of commonalities. I think where you start to see differences is when you look at the communities in each of these blockchains. So the Cardano community in particular seems to have a stronger focus on the long term. They don't really care as much for like short-term hype and things that are just going to boost the token price. They really want to make sure we're building sustainable solutions for the long run that are actually adding real-world benefit. That's one of the reasons we've been so resilient in the face of market downturns. Just today, the huge news was that FTX was insolvent and Binance is actually acquiring FTX. And this caused a huge crash in the crypto markets, especially Solana selling off. That Alameda Research, the people behind FTX, they were huge investors in Solana. And we see Cardano staying relatively stable compared to the rest of the other altcoins. So I find that here on Cardano, there's a much more organic community. It seems to be much more retail investors. And that's one of the reasons that we're left out of these big partnerships, because on Solana and Polygon, it's really started from the top down. You have huge VC firms pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into these blockchains, doing business development, closing deals with Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, because they're already wealthy, just trying to make money off of the retail investors. I think on Cardano, it's actually the opposite. It started with retail investors. Retail are all the people who are here building. And we didn't have that huge influx of VC money. So the builders tend to be more scrappy. We tend to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and get stuff done with limited resources. And now that has started to attract some VC attention. JPG Store actually just raised a $6 million investment round last month. And we're yeah, thank you. And we're starting to see lots of other companies being built on Cardano closing venture deals as well. So I would say if you're looking to buy NFTs, think about the people behind the blockchain that you're going to be supporting. It's not just the artists, it's also the builders and everyone who's on that blockchain. And I think if you were to check out the Cardano community, you would find that we have one of the friendliest, most positive communities in crypto, especially because we're so focused again on building for the long term and not just trying to boost price over the next few weeks.
Then Blake, there is another point that I would like us to kind of explain, and it's about the data, the identity that can be included in the NFT minting, which is possible on Cardano and is quite different from what is possible on Ethereum and Polygon.
Yeah, that's a great point. So there are differences at the technology layer between these blockchains. And one of the huge benefits we have with Cardano NFTs is that they're native assets on the blockchain. They don't live in a smart contract, which means when you have an NFT in your wallet, it actually is in your wallet and it's totally secure, unless, of course, you lose your seed phrase or your friend breaks into your computer and sends the NFT to their wallet. But what we see in reality is way less exploits happening on Cardano compared to other blockchains, way less wallet drain scams, people losing their NFTs because there's an exploit in a smart contract somewhere. I think the design of Cardano's ledger is vastly superior, at least in regards to security, as well as scalability. For being one of the most decentralized blockchains in the world, we have fairly low fees. I think it's currently like 8 to 12 cents to buy and sell an NFT on our marketplace, and that's less than OpenSea. So it's great to see Cardano pushing forward, and we've definitely gained a lot of adoption in this past year.
So talking about identity, we had a discussion quite some time ago about obviously the value of anonymity, but also the risks of anonymity, especially when it comes down to an NFT marketplace, because sometimes you can't verify artists. And what I would like to know is how big is this issue and what JPG Store is doing to fix that problem.
So anonymity, let's just start with, is amazing in the crypto space. It's so awesome that people are protecting their identities online and have full financial freedom to transact wherever they want. They can send money across the world instantly without needing any credentials to manage their funds. I think that's an amazing aspect of crypto and definitely something that needs to be protected. However, there are some I guess, use cases or features that we can't exactly implement when everyone is anonymous. A great example of this is preventing bots on a network. If anyone can create a wallet and use your service, then someone could create 10 wallets and you don't really know who's who. So having decentralized IDs, what it allows us to do is actually bring digital identity into our application. And what's so important or so groundbreaking with decentralized IDs is that you own your identity. You can choose when you reveal information to us. And it allows you to protect your identity in a lot of ways. And what it allows us to do as a company is build new features. So you're right, there's a huge problem in the NFT space right now where an artist will launch an NFT collection and they're completely anonymous. They get hundreds of thousands of dollars in funds, and then they just delete their website, run away with the money, and don't really keep the project going for the people who bought their NFTs. So something we could do with decentralized IDs is verify that artist's identity. And if they ever come back to try to mint a second collection, we know who they are and we can prevent them from creating more artwork, or at least warn the community that this person has stolen funds in the past.
Yeah, that's very important. Protecting also your users. Now, how easy is for a creator or for a brand to launch an NFT, to mint a collection on JPG Store?
So we have single asset minting, which is fully public right now. So if you're a photographer or an artist and you want to come on and mint a few NFTs, you can do that right now on the JPG Store website. In the backlog, we actually have a full collection minting service that allows you to drop as many NFTs as you want, thousands of NFTs. You can build up a huge drop, your typical 10K NFT mint. But that's not fully open to the public yet. It's in a private beta phase right now. We're doing some testings with collections. So if any creators are listening to this and it's not live on our website yet, feel free to reach out to us, just JPG Store Twitter account, and we can work something out. But in the next 4 to 8 weeks, we should be launching this fully open to the public so that anyone can easily mint NFTs on Cardano.
And also for brands, I think they start to look beyond the Ethereum community. It's
100%.
important for them to know they've got all the tools to launch also on Cardano. If I ask you, which are the most popular NFT collection on JPG Store?
Oh, that's a dangerous question. I don't know if I can say who is the most popular. I'll mention several collections. And again, this is not financial advice. But so Space Buds was the OG Cardano NFT collection. It was the highest in floor price. So the most expensive Cardano NFT collection for a long time. And that's because Alessandro, the creator of Space Buds, really started the entire Cardano NFT revolution. He built one of the first marketplaces to use smart contracts. He built Nami Wallet, which was the first in-browser wallet you could use to buy and sell NFTs. He's built so many incredible tools that we ourselves at JPG Store rely on in order to run our marketplace. So Alessandro is an amazing engineer, and I think anyone getting into Cardano NFTs should check out Space Buds. Now, that's just one project. There's so many others. I'll talk about the Ape Society next. So Ape Society.
I'm excited about that. Go on. Is that remake of like the Bored Ape Yacht Club now is cool on Cardano? Or
100%. I think people really love the monkey projects. As humans, it's relatable.
Do you have the Ape Society NFT?
Sorry?
Can I ask if you have an Ape Society NFT?
I own 2.
Oh gosh, I was looking to get one, and prices are not too bad. It's
it's
not
compared
like
to Ethereum.
thousands of dollars.
Yes, I know. But yeah, the Ape Society has definitely been a huge topic in the news lately. They rocketed off this past month, passing Space Buds. Definitely the most hyped collection on Cardano at the moment. I think a big reason for that is in the Ape Society, they have families. So a lot of NFTs have traits, but what the Ape Society did is they almost made these factions within their community where when you buy an Ape Society, you belong to a particular family. That's just one of the sort of I guess utilities that they've built. They also have their society token. They've done a land sale. So there's a lot of interesting developments happening, which I think helped contribute to the bull run we saw with the Ape Society.
Okay. Now, because I want to kind of lay
But-
lay out all the steps
Sorry,
that
if I can just interrupt though, I want to clarify, like these are just two projects. There's so many amazing projects building on Cardano. I love Yumi Universe, Clay Nation, Chilled Kongs, Disco Solaris. Like I can't even get started on how many amazing artists and creators are building on our blockchain. And I really think that if you're new to Cardano NFTs or want to invest a little bit more, there's so many incredible projects. Just make sure you do your research. And
exactly. And if you have to say to people how they should do their own research or kind of advise them where they can get the information, where do you say they should go? Because, you know, maybe some of our viewers, they don't hold any NFT on Cardano. They listen to you talking about JPG Store, but they don't know where to start. So what would you say to these people?
That's actually a great question. I mean, maybe something we could do at JPG Store is start a little bit of a newsletter talking about projects and their developments. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I would actually recommend following Farmer Nash on Twitter. He's been doing a really deep dive into Cardano NFTs lately and has been doing a lot of amazing debriefs and Twitter spaces with projects that are building. You can also follow us on JPG Store. We like to retweet when something exciting is happening in the space. And I think that would probably enough to get you started.
So most of the community is on Twitter. So it's kind of
Yes.
following the key.
Yes,
Following the
Cardano NFTs live on Twitter and Discord. Those are the two places where you have to be.
Okay, so that's the platform that, you know, the newbie to see NFT, they have to go.
Yes.
And finally, we also need the wallet, right? So if I want to get an NFT, not myself, but, you know, anyone that doesn't have an NFT on Cardano, they have got MetaMask, they buy NFT with that, but how they connect to JPG Store?
So it's the same thing as what you would expect on another blockchain. You can go on our website. We have if you go to Connect Wallet in the top right, we have a list of all the supported wallets on Cardano. A couple of the popular ones are Eternal, Nami, Flint, Typhon. We have Giro, NuFi Wallet by Wing Riders as well. So yeah, lots of wallets. The really exciting one that's coming out soon is Lace. A lot of people are looking forward to that because that's actually built by IO, the company who is primarily building the Cardano blockchain. So we're really excited for Lace, but I'm glad that we have so many wallets in our ecosystem and they're constantly competing and shipping updates. My personal favorite is Typhon. They're the team behind Cardano Scan. One of the reasons I love Typhon is because it has a fairly simple UI. And they're doing a lot of integrations with JPG Store at the moment. So it's definitely nice to trade NFTs using Typhon. For example, they allow you to make infinite transactions back to back, which is kind of cool and something that I think on the other wallets, you might have to wait for your first transaction to settle before making a different one, depending on your UTXOs. But I won't get into the technical details.
Okay, I think those are all useful information for our viewers. And yes, I'm also excited about Lace because it's going to be interoperable and, you know, that's and many other features.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be for multiple cryptocurrencies, I think, not just Cardano. So yeah, Lace seems amazing. I can't wait for it as well.
Now, what's next for JPG Store? What you're working on?
You know, that's a tricky question because we try to be a little bit like Apple for product launches. We like to have a little bit of secrecy and build up excitement. And then when we release something, everyone's like, whoa. So I don't like giving away too much, but I can maybe explain at a high level where we're going. So one of the big things for us is we want to expand globally. Right now, our website is only in English. We're primarily based in the US, North America. We have a lot of visitors from the UK as well. But I think there's a big opportunity for us to translate our website. Cardano has a major international community. They actually did their ICO, I believe, in Japan. So there's a lot of Japanese holders, and we're looking to get into these foreign markets. I think another thing that we're really excited about is potentially going cross-chain. Right now, we're fully focused on Cardano, and I don't see us going cross-chain in the next 6 months. We want to basically make sure we have everything that Cardano users would want, or at least the really big things, before we start exploring cross-chain. But I think going cross-chain is a good opportunity, not only for us as a business to explore different territories, but also bring more users to Cardano. Because when you have that interoperability, someone who's from Ethereum can start trading Ethereum NFTs on JPEG Store, and then that might expose them further to Cardano NFTs, and maybe they buy their first Cardano NFT on our store. So those are sort of the two big directions we're thinking about going in 2023.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, before we wrap it up, I have got a question that it might be like a silly question, but maybe not. Why you call your project JPEG Store? Because everybody, at the beginning thought, okay, an NFT is a JPEG, which is actually is not, because it's a pair of key to give you access to something. But yeah, why you choose JPEG?
Yes, so our name is a
Or
meme, and it's definitely polarizing because there's people who love calling NFTs JPEGs, and then there's other people who realize that NFTs are so much more than just JPEGs, and they have a ton of potential and applications beyond just digital avatars. And so it's a little bit polarizing, but I think that's actually one of the reasons we chose the name, is because it gets people talking. It's really easy to remember, oh, it's just JPEG Store. It's a store for JPEGs. And I think it's awesome because we're embracing sort of this critique that a lot of people have had in the NFT space. People say NFTs are just JPEGs, and we're like, yeah, what's wrong with that? So it's a nice way of just sort of owning the joke and running with it.
yeah, and be ironic about it. I think not taking yourself too seriously.
Too
I think,
seriously,
but also,
100.
as you said, like generate conversation. I think that was a great point that you make.
I feel that also blockchain technology is so complicated, right? And if you're not a technical person who's really interested in learning about the next up and coming thing, it can be a lot to wrap your head around. And I think what's awesome about NFTs is that it's really, there is a lot of very technical stuff underneath, but on its surface level, it's really just investing in artwork. And so JPEG Store, it's really, we want to be fun and opening and allow everyone just to come on our platform and explore this fascinating new world. And we don't really want to hit them with all the really deep technical stuff. A lot of times I feel like NFTs are almost the gateway drug into crypto and learning about what makes this technology so revolutionary. So that's another reason why I think when we went with the name JPEG Store, we want something that is digestible for a mainstream audience that really doesn't understand this tech at a deeper level. But hopefully, once they get into NFTs, they start learning more about what makes crypto such an amazing piece of technology.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So anybody that wants to check out your project, and also anybody that want to get in touch with you, where should they go?
Go to jpg.store. That's our main website. You can follow us on Twitter at JPEG Store NFT. And those are the two main places. Definitely, if you are using our website and you're having any issues, you can hop into our Discord. We have 24/7 technical support. We have average of 5-minute response time. I think our support team is amazing. They've done over 20,000 customer tickets. We have a 4.7 star review currently.
Well, the customer, they are at the priority. They are, the top of your concern.
Yes, exactly. So we're just trying to protect our users' funds and make sure that people really are investing a lot of money into these assets. So we want to make sure that they're never having any issues on our marketplace.
Blake, it was such great to have you on the show. It was a great conversation and such a genuine guy, so enthusiastic about the space. And yeah, I think I do agree there is a lot of potential about NFTs on Cardano that still people have to discover. And so hopefully more and more people are going to join the community and discover more and more collection. And yeah, maybe I should get an ape as well, Ape Society.
Absolutely. Yeah. Join the movement.
NFT as well. Okay, Blake, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Steph.